Now, the scandal of the period. Manet's Déjeuner sur l'herbe, luncheon on the grass, as it's ordinarily translated. It was submitted to a salon. Now, let me give you a concept that's what's going on here. There was a formal salon that showed works of art, as there was in Great Britain and Belgium and other countries, that showed works of art in an annual show. You submitted your painting to the judges, or gatekeepers, as I would call them, of the salon, and they decided which paintings would be shown and which, I mean, not every guy, who just scribbles a line is going to be allowed to show a painting, is the idea. So they already passed by and are given some sort of critical attention. This painting, along with Whistler's Woman in White and several other important paintings, were rejected by the Salon in 1863, and several of the painters asked, this is interesting, Napoleon III, or his cultural minister, if they could have a salon de refusés. That is, if, and that's what it was called. Okay, and there were 4 shows, one in the 60s, 2 in the 70s, 1 in the 80s. Okay, a salon de refusés. Okay, and actually they gave them a palace, a small palace near where the regular salon. And this was hung, and people took their umbrellas and wanted to trash it, and so on and so forth. It was the scandal. Napoleon III called it an unhealthy painting, quote unquote. Okay, now, why is it a scandal? And let me give you an example of what Manet is doing, because he's challenging, I'm going to argue, a certain kind of tradition. Obviously, there is a nude woman, and beside her, there is food. Okay. In novels and in paintings, bourgeoisie are seen eating a lot, okay, and drinking. I'm very serious about this. This is bourgeois stuff, okay. Okay, especially haute bourgeois stuff. All right, that is, you go to restaurants, you have wine, you sit down, you have leisure, and so on and so on. Because food, by the way, is sensual. That is, at least for me. Okay. Other things are sensual as well, may I add. But food is sensual, and in French culture, food is very sensual, indeed. And French culture is both Cartesian and sensual at the same time, at the same moment, may I add. And so that sensuality is recognized. And of course, the sensuality of food and the cornucopia of food is associated also with the sensuality of the body. Okay, she has 2 gentlemen are sitting here, okay, sort of talking to them themselves. A side point, just a footnote, this one is wearing a Turkish hat because turquoise became fashionable in the exotic time at that. Later on it will be japonais and chinoiserie, okay, that are exotic. And this woman is bathing here. Now, let me show you another, let me do this way. This is a painting by the Italian artist Giorgione, done in 1512, and it is called Fête Champêtre. Okay, a rough translation would be a country picnic, country party. But I think picnic is probably, I'm looking at AD. Okay, thank you. Okay, is better. And you will note that there are 2 nudes here, and 2 gentlemen, one with a string instrument, okay, symbol, we all right, class, love, okay, and so on and so forth, okay, in an idyllic country setting. He did this after that painting and as a commentary on the traditional art. But it's more than a commentary, it's a critique of it. I would argue, I'm not alone in this, but not everybody makes this argument, so feel free to challenge me, that the problem that people have with this painting is that this woman was seen to be naked and not nude. I'm trying to make a distinction. We all right with that? In other words, the nude is beautiful, in quotes. I mean, it's supposed to be beautiful. Platonic, an idealized nude, stylized, doesn't resemble any individual person, of course, okay? And the nude does not look at you, you look at the nude. if I can make a distinction. That is, they look away, okay? And they're allegorical. So we handle this as a kind of allegorical tale or an allegorical story. There are some feminists who will argue that men like to watch nude women and therefore they paint allegorical paintings this way, but that's another question, okay? Okay, we're in the School of Women's Studies, it's downstairs, so, so that's another question. But in this case, this is a real woman. And by the way, people recognized her, Victorine Morin. She was a famous model. And secondly, she is not gazing on the side. She's not modest at all. She is gazing at us. Now, let me try it on you another way. She's gazing at us, gazing at her. Okay? So if she's an exhibitionist, you're a voyeur. Okay, that is, no, it's interesting because she's not ashamed of being caught. They say it's in the Bois de Boulogne, it's in a public park, more or less, okay? I mean, where do you go in the city? I mean, and so on, besides the back of the car, okay? That's in a public park, okay? And you find your space, and you have your picnic, and so on, okay? But she is gazing at us, and of course, she's not a perfect female. She's human. She has a belly like the rest of us. Okay? That is, her body is not perfect. Now, what I'm suggesting to you is that, of course, Manet and other Impressionists know the history of Western art, and just as Picasso does, and comment on it while they are innovating, okay? But that this innovation is a mockery of the traditional notion of the nude, and is much more realistic and challenges the viewer to ask the viewer, see, the viewer is usually detached from the painting, okay? It's sort of like a theater of the absurd thing when somebody gets up from in the middle of the play, in the middle of the audience and yells bullshit, or something of that sort, and except it's part of the play, okay? Same kind of thing. It effaces this division between viewer and what is being viewed. And of course, the viewer himself or herself is being challenged. And so let me add, I'll just read you one critical assessment of it, a significant one, in which, I have the quote here, Manet, no, well, I had the quote here. Okay, I'll paraphrase it for you. They said that people who are crude will paint bad paintings. And Giorgione paints a wonderful painting, and it fulfills, again, here we go back to again, what is a painting? It fulfills all of the qualities of what a painting should be. This does not fulfill all of the qualities. It is okay that it's no longer in the salon. But of course, the scandal opens up other kinds of stuff and other kinds of things. So I would just note, this critique is occurring. That is, the painting's not just about some picnic, okay? It's about Manet challenging how we view the world, and what painting happens to be, and what the role of the painter is in society, and I want to add, how we view a painting. Okay, and how we view a painting. So these are deep challenges. This is serious stuff, in my view.